The Nerdy 30s, the podcast that proves you don't have to give up what you love at any certain age.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Nerdy 30s.
Video podcast quarantine conference extravaganza part whatever.
I think it's 3.
I don't know. It depends.
I'm probably going to do this one before the other ones.
Well, yeah, because the other ones I feel like they're fun, but they're kind of weak content wise because it's just us like talking.
Yeah, we just wiggle wobbling. We don't care. But yeah, so yeah, this one's probably going to be the next podcast that comes out, but you don't know that it's not the one that we just recorded, so forget that. Forget it. So today we're going to be talking about many things.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about K-pop. We're going to be talking about some of the things that we think of pop culture and how there's a bunch of conspiracies in it.
Yeah, some anime stuff, probably.
What'd you say?
Some anime stuff, probably, maybe.
Some Korean dramas, because what else do I do with my life? We're going to talk about catfishing and
awkward sex scenes in movies.
Yeah, where we watched it with like a family member and it was totally not
awful.
Awful. I don't know what's happening with my hair today, and I know I'm supposed to be like really pretty because I'm a girl, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't give two craps 90% of the time as to what is happening with my face. So
it's fine. If they want to see you look pretty, they can always just go to your YouTube channel and watch your 100 Ways cover by Jackson Wang that she covered.
It's because those boobs are up.
Boobs are out. She's got makeup on. She got like a Cookie Monster jacket on. I
murdered at least 2 Cookie Monsters for that jacket. It's a good one.
You're wicked in the video.
Yeah, I'm an evil queen. Which I plan to be forever now, by the way. So if you guys want to see my boobs, you can, well, at least the tops of them. You can go to my Instagram, it's on there, and you can go to the YouTubes, it's on there too.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be honest, you ain't seeing my full boobies.
It's close enough.
It's close enough. You can see how big they are.
Huge. Like, you could cover the bottom part with your finger and draw nipples on it. Like, she did it. She went topless.
Speaking of full mood, should we just jump right in?
Yeah.
Right segue.
We're gonna start with the dirty nerdy 30. We haven't done this in a while.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. Look, I have to fix my hair for the dirty nerdies because we're talking nerdy. There we go. I fixed it. This looks so much better. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yeah. So we wanted to tell you guys about some very awkward experiences that we have had while watching sex scenes with friends or family members.
Mine is horrible. And I don't even know why it happened, but it happened. So.
Well, I'm gonna let you start first.
I
want to hear it.
I need to pour this drink.
I'm gonna pick up my mochi.
Yeah. So
while I sit under my kotatsu.
Remember Boogie Nights? Everybody remembers Boogie Nights, right?
I never saw it.
I mean, it's honestly not a great movie. It's just, I don't know. It's about 70s porn and like a bunch of famous people are in it. And they're like, oh, we're porn actors. And it's really funny watching them do porn acting. I watched it with my mom.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And I was like fully, it came out when we were kids. So like I was fully like, what, 8, 9, 10, something like that. And I watched it with my mother. It was so awkward. It was so silent. I don't know why she let me stay in the room to watch it.
Why did you be like, Travis, step out of the room for just a minute?
Here's like I have young parents, so like at the time she would have been in her mid to late 20s. So I think it's still kind of in like kid mode in that time. Like, oh, my freaky little child is in here while I'm watching this movie. What's going on? Like, I think she probably didn't know what to say to it either. But I just remember it burned into my head, sitting next to her on her bed, while Mark Wahlberg pulls out his big fake penis. Oh, I'm convulsing silently now. So that
I just swallowed my mochi hole.
it was the worst.
I bet that was really awkward. How old were you?
I don't know. When did Boogie Nights come out? Because like it was like right after it came to pay-per-view. And it had to have been like mid to late 90s.
Dang, so you were young.
So like I was maybe 10, I would say. 10 or 11.
Well,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I probably shouldn't say this one. I probably shouldn't say it. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. That one will embarrass someone, so I'm not gonna say that one. And it's my dad. So I'll just do another one that embarrasses my dad, but not in the way that one would have. So this one. So I really enjoy the game Heavy Rain, and my dad had just gotten like a PlayStation.
Yeah.
And it was a PlayStation 3, and we were like, oh, we need to bring this over so that my dad can play Heavy Rain because it's such a good game. So, and we're talking like, I loved this game. I played this game like 17 times so I could get all the endings and I could get all the trophies and all that. And it's just a really good game. And if you don't know what the game's about, there's a serial killer and he kidnaps little kids and he puts the dads of the kids through trials to try and get the dads to save their kids. So, and then you're kind of like following these, like at least four different people, trying to figure out who the murderer is. And I know who it is, so I'm not going to say it because it's too good.
Speaking of which, it's just a side note. There's a big PlayStation Network sale going on right now, and Life is Strange 2 is on sale for $15. Including like the extra DLC episodes. So.
Really?
Yep.
I'm gonna buy it. I love that thinking game. I love Life is Strange. The new one's different though. It's about two dudes.
Yeah, but they're gay dudes, and one of them's trans, I think.
I heard they were gonna be brothers.
Well, I think there's brothers in it too, but like one of them is gay and dating a trans boy, I think. I don't know. It's all the Life is Stranges are very gay.
They're very gay, and I love them.
Good.
Anyway, one of my favorite games. Oh, sorry, but anyway, so I bring it over, and I start, then my dad play the game, and he's doing a terrible job, and he's kind of fumbling around. He's got bad eye-hand coordination, so he's constantly like, it's one of those things where you have to push the button whenever it pops up on screen.
Quick time event.
Do what?
The quick time events, I hate them.
Yes, just like that, and it's that way throughout the whole entire game. So he's playing the game, and he's having to replay things over and over again because he keeps on messing up the controls.
He's getting people killed.
You're right, exactly. He's getting everybody murdered. So he's playing the game, and all of a sudden, they go the main character. Well, I guess 4 of them are main characters. 2 of the main characters, I can't think of their names. The only one I can think about is Scott and Norman Jaden. Oh my gosh, what's that guy's name? I don't know. not gonna come to me. Jason's dad. Yeah, nope, nothing. Got nothing. But anyway, so the dude that is wanted for possibly kidnapping his son or murdering his son is with a gal that is a news reporter. And he's like living in a motel, and she goes there to help take care of him because she found him in the street and he is like all bloodied and gooey and stuff. So she takes him to the motel, and whenever they get to the motel, a memory pops in my head. And I was like, oh no. Oh no, I know what's coming.
Oh, it's a sex scene.
It's a sex scene, and it's an interactive sex scene to where you have to push the buttons at exactly the right time. and with this part, they don't kill you. What happens is he'll start to do the movement, and then if you mess up, it goes back down. So it does it again. So you have to try it again to hit it at the right part. And then go back down. So, there was an option for my dad not to have sex with the chick. I can't think of her name. But no, he was like, yes. And I was like,
no! Did he suddenly get really good at QuickTime events, though?
No, he was terrible at it. So we had to sit there for like 20 minutes watching my dad fumbling around with this girl, being like, there's the part where it's like, take off her bra, and you had to like swirl your finger. So he would start to swirl his finger, and then he'd be like this, and then my dad would stop, and he'd go, ooh. And then he'd go, and then he'd do it again, and I was like, oh. And there's like, you actually see them do it. Like, there's boobies and stuff. There's boobies and butts, and I was like, this is so awkward. I'm watching my dad virtually have sex with a woman. It was so gross. It was so gross.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, he goes, to justify the fact that we had to sit there for like 20, 30 minutes watching him fumbling around very poorly, fornicating. To justify it, he goes, I bet you wouldn't be as close to her after this, would you? If you hadn't have done it with her. And I was like, no, Dad, it would have been the same. And he was like,
I was trying to build my relationship points through intercourse.
I was like, there are no relationship points. So
yeah,
it was so awkward. I just remember like there was a part where he starts to take her shirt off. So I almost actually lifted my shirt right then. I'm glad I didn't. So he like starts to pull it up, and then that was just the most awkward moment. No. The most awkward moment is when he gets on top of her. That was gross.
So does she not say anything when you're messing up?
Oh no, they're just sitting there going,
It needs to. So it would be so much better if, like, every time you miss, she's like, "Well, okay," or
no.
like shames you for being bad at that.
Oh no, that's not what she does at all. And it actually makes it worse because it was already awkward, but then they're just having like disgusting sex noises the whole time, like. Like, I was like, this is gross. But it's Ethan Mars and I can't think of the girl's name, but he was playing Ethan Mars at that time. But ew!
That's really funny.
It
would have been better if like she just got more agitated with just how bad at sex you were.
That would have been actually hilarious, and I would have laughed about it. But they made it gross instead. They're like, well, you've said you wanted to, so there's no getting out of it now.
No means no.
Hold on, I want to know what that girl, Madison, her name's Madison Page. So Ethan Mars and Madison Page were doing it. So,
okay.
Their names. In case anyone was trying to figure out who I was talking about.
Yeah.
That was just, it was a bad day. It's a bad day.
Do you have any more embarrassing sex stories, or should we?
I've got a few.
Yeah, I don't have like a lot. That the Boogie Nights thing was the only one that I was like, that's weird.
Okay, I'll go into the next one. So, True Blood. My family and I were really into the books. Okay, the Sookie Stackhouse novels. We were like, oh, these are good. Let's discuss what's happening on them. Oh my gosh, they're gonna make a TV series on it, and it's gonna be on HBO. We had never had HBO before. We didn't know what HBO was all about. So
Oh yeah.
we get 3 months free of HBO because my dad was like, you've been making us pay too much. So he haggled with them to get free HBO so we could watch True Blood. Well, we're watching it. It's like 10 minutes in. Everything's fine. And then Jason comes on the screen. Now, if you haven't watched True Blood, Jason is Sookie's brother. And he is a complete horn dog. And he like does it with everybody.
Yeah.
Like he does not care who you are. He's probably going to try and do it with you. So the beginning of it's fine. It's Sookie and she's at the she's in her no. The beginning's not fine. The beginning's not fine either. Like the first few seconds in, there's a girl in her car with her boyfriend, and she's just doing this stuff, but you don't see it. So I was like, okay, maybe this is just like a one-off moment, and they're just trying to start it because it'll be edgy. Oh no, it's worse. So then it cuts to Sookie working at Merlot's with like Lafayette and all those awesome characters. The people at Merlot's are great. So it's there, and it's like Sookie, and she's like, I'm a good girl. Stop talking nasty to me. She says it, literally says that. Then it cuts to Jason and a girl. Girl is tied up like this, and Jason, they're both buck naked, and they're just like, you see all of it.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I glanced around because we were all in the dark, because that's how we watch shows. We watch it in the dark. And I was like, I was like, should I fast forward? How's everyone taking this right now? But it was live, so we couldn't fast forward. So I was like, we're just going to watch this sex scene.
Yeah.
This was the first one. This was the first one that I'd ever seen with my parents as, like, ever. And I was like, this is real awkward, guys.
It just makes me laugh that you didn't know HBO was filthy.
I didn't have it. We didn't have it. We never had it growing up. And I was just like, oh, this is going to be a TV show. And I heard that it was going to be also viewed on like TBS or something like that, or FX. So I was like, cool. All right, this should be fine. It should be okay. No.
Yeah. See, I had HBO off and on growing up. And I would always, because like they did a lot of sex documentaries too. So like I would always sneak out in the living room and watch it. There was one called Real Sex. It was a documentary that was like a couple different segments on different things every time, and like they would make a new one every couple years. Yeah. And it was like the dumbest porny things. It was like nudist cowboys. It was hilarious.
The naked cowboy in New York?
No, I don't know. They might have. I remember there was one episode that was about a stripper pageant, and like the winner was like a cowgirl stripper that stripped to Paula Cole. Where have all the cowboys gone?
That's good. So that's appropriate.
Yeah. But yeah, HBO has always been filthy.
I didn't know. Never had it before. But you would think that would have stopped us from watching the entire series. It did not. We watched the entire series. Although, instead of watching it live, we would record it and then watch it afterwards so we could fast forward. but if my dad was in charge of the remote, he would let it play. And I was like, Dad, I don't want
You know what? I am team dad here. I'm just like, this is going to ruin the integrity of the show. We're going to watch it.
I didn't want to watch it with them. They didn't like fast forward.
What if they say something that's important to the plot while they're having the sex?
Oh, there was nothing important. The only time that there was actually something important to the plot when they were doing the hibbity was when her and Bill first had the sex. That was the first time that it was actually something that was important to the storyline, because she talked about how she was like abused as a kid.
Yeah.
And she was like, I didn't think that I would ever be able to do this, but I could do it with you, because she can't read his thoughts because he's a vampire and he's all dead and stuff. So she couldn't hear him being like, this is hot, and like gross her out.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was gross. It was gross. I'm sure there's others. I'm sure there are. Yeah, I'm just. Oh, we talked about this. Was another one. This one was actually with Mitch. We talked about this Blue Velvet.
Oh yeah, we talked about that on one of the other actual episodes.
Yeah, one of the other actual episodes that's going to be coming out after this one. It's really gross. Mitch turned the movie on and he was like, this is one of my favorite directors. I want to watch this movie. And so I sit down and I'm like, okay, I'll watch it with you. Not even like 10, 20 minutes into the show.
Yeah.
A husband beating up his wife, and then like he rapes her with scissors, and I was like,
awful.
I was like, I don't want to watch this. And he was like, I'm gonna watch it. And I was like, I don't want to watch this. So I left the room. It was really uncomfortable. I did not like it. That one was more so of a avoidance than gross out, but still, though I think that those are my top 3 gross out moments of sex scenes in something where I was like, no! Those are my main 3.
What is it? I'm trying to. You said gross out sex scenes, and so it triggered something in my head that I promptly forgot.
Okay, let me say it again. Top 3 gross out sex scenes.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. No, I see. My mind went to like a horror movie place. I mean, that's kind of horror movie, like with raping with scissors. But like, there's a. Have you seen the movie Event Horizon?
Mm-mm.
Oh God, it's one of the creepiest movies. Like, I love it. It's a great horror movie, but like, it's got some disturbing things that still bother me to this day. Basically, it's like it's set in the future, but I think the future is like 2017 or something now. But yeah. But basically, it's just like this spaceship got lost, and it's called the Event Horizon, and so they send out another team after it to go find it, and they find it, and it's empty. It's like essentially a ghost ship, and then they find out, like they go through the captain's log or something. They find the recordings of it, and basically what happened is the ship went through like a black hole that sent them to hell, and they came back, and so now the ship is like possessed by like demonic forces or something. But like they see on the captain's log, there's like this whole scene of like a scary blood orgy where like they're all like they're having sex and eating each other and like getting like metal spikes rammed into places, and it's awful and horrible and scary.
That sounds gross.
It's gross. It is a gross out movie, but like it's also like a really, I don't know, I like it because it's a disturbing, scary movie, and it's very fast. Like it's fast flashes of it, so you don't see everything.
Okay.
But you see enough to where you're just like, I don't want to think about that ever again, you know?
It's like, that's enough.
Yeah. But it bothers me. I'm just like, ugh, please don't. No, but I do like it. I like the movie. It's weird.
I get that. There are some movies that like have really gross scenes in it that I'm like, no, it's still good. It's still good.
Yeah.
Like Air Force One with Harrison Ford.
Get off the plane.
Get off my plane. There is a scene, and I have a problem, and this will describe it to you. I don't like seeing hands or feet get cut by glass.
Yeah.
In movies or in anything, really. I don't like it. I don't like seeing these get cut. And like Harrison Ford's tied up by the terrorists, and there's a piece of glass that's sitting behind him, and he like grabs it with his hand, and he's trying to cut his ropes on his hand with the glass, and while he's doing it, the glass is just cutting his hand.
Yeah.
And then also Die Hard because he steps on glass.
Ugh,
I have a real bad problem with that. I don't like it. I think it's yucky.
What about the movie on Netflix that you watched recently?
So I went to watch it, and it's not on there.
It's not on there. How did you? Did you just write it down?
I just looked it up. I just looked it up. It's called Obsessed, and it's a Korean movie, and it's like an erotic drama, is what they call it.
An erotic period drama.
Erotic period drama. So it's like an admiral, and he falls in love with like somebody's wife. I can't think of who the actual wife is of someone, who the person is, because I just read the synopsis. I just looked it up, what you would talk to me about. And he's apparently got PTSD, and like he's just like being very impulsive and just doing whatever comes to his head. So he starts an affair with that guy's wife, and the sex scene that is in it is very realistic.
Or did you only watch the one? There's a couple.
No, I watched a couple, and they're very realistic.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that's like, let me show you. And then I'm like, no.
Well, we can't. You can look it up. It's a Korean movie. And full disclosure, we only know about it because I was watching the series Black that Aaron told me to watch. And the main guy... The what?
Did you finish it?
Oh, I just finished episode 10.
Oh, you're close.
It's gotten intense.
No. You got 6 more episodes.
There's 8 more episodes. It's 18. Yeah, it's too long, but I still like it.
Right. I think I actually binged it because I watched it real quick.
Yeah, I can't because the episodes are too long and there's too much reading and too many plot twists. So I'm just like, my brain hurts. I need to stop for a minute.
Everything is just like a giant twist and turn.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is happening? We talk about this on one of the other episodes that's going to be coming up. So it's a dude. No, I'll start with a girl. It's a girl that can see when someone's going to die because they get like a black mist around them. And she hooks up with this detective, and he wants her to work with him to try and stop people from dying before it happens. I'm just going to leave it at that because there's too many plot twists, and this one's actually super good with plot twists to where even some of them I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
So it's good. So I don't actually want to ruin that one. So just watch that show. Watch Black. It's very good. I
will say it's too long with the episodes. They're like an hour and a half each.
They're very long. They're a movie each.
There's a lot of unnecessary extra stuff in it I don't think needs to be in it.
Yeah,
but also I don't hate it. It takes me too long to watch them.
It's not bingeable, and we're so used to binging things. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But going back to the show, the movie Obsessed, the reason that we found it was because the main guy is played by the main guy from Black, and there's a lot of scenes in Black where they're just like, "Here's my penis," but they blur it out, and I will not take teasing like that. So of course, like a high school boy, I went online. I'm like, actor nudes, naked actor pictures. Look, I'm not proud, but I did it. And
This told me, and it made me do it.
and then so like there's none online, but he was in this movie that is very graphically sexual called Obsessed, and the sex scenes are very like we were both kind of like, where's his penis going? This feels like it's actually real. What's going on? I watch a lot of porn. It is very convincing. Yeah.
I was like, where does he have it? Because like there is no room whatsoever. There was no room, and he actually like puts her nipple in his mouth.
Yeah,
Like,
I've seen movies that do that also, because like there's some American movies that do that, but it's still always kind of shocking.
but I've seen it in American movies, but it's always kind of glazed over. You know what I mean? Like it's like, oh, I'm there for a second, and then I've moved on.
But like with movies,
When Obsessed, it was like, here's your boob.
yeah. I'm used to like the Skinamax movies where like the girl is so clearly on his belly button, like, oh yes. This was not like that. No, I don't.
No. It was incredibly realistic, and it apparently was Song Seung I can't say it for the love of me. Song Seung Hyun. It was his first sex scene that he had done, and he was naked.
Good job.
He just jumped right in.
Maybe literally.
Yeah.
Who knows?
No, he was naked. He talked about it. He was like, I was completely naked. And I'm like, where did it go then? Where did it go? I was like calculating. I was like, because when you're watching, I just don't. And I mean, like, this is like right up on his butt at one point, and I'm like, how's?
I know.
It was convincing. It was convincing.
Performance.
Do what?
It was a convincing performance, yes.
It really was. It really was. And bravo, I guess.
Hooray!
Good
for
work,
you.
guys. Good work. 2 thumbs way up. I don't know. But this brings me to my next topic of catfishing. No.
You might think, how does this movie have to do with catfishing?
Well, it has a lot to do with it, you guys. So, after I watched Black, I went on Instagram and I started following Song Seung Hyun. I hope I said that right. But anyway, I started following him. Seung Hun is so much easier for me to say. That's actually his first name. But anyway, so I started following him on Instagram, and I liked one of his pictures, and I commented on it. And it was like a picture of him holding up prop spaghetti, okay? And like the spoon is like lifted up from where the spaghetti is, so it can make it look like you're about to eat, but you're actually not going to lift it to your mouth. And I think it's so for continuity and all that. So I commented on it, and maybe 2 hours later, I get a message in my Instagram email, and it says Seung Hun. And I was like, what's this? So I click on it, and he's all like, thank you so much for liking my photo and saying such a nice comment on my picture. I'm so glad to have a fan like you, and then said his name. And I was like, that's weird, because what I had said to him was, gross, I'm guessing that's prop food.
Yeah.
I was like, so I wrote him back, and I don't even remember what I said back to him. Oh, I wrote him back and I was like, hey, you're welcome. You did really well in the show Black. I thought it was really good. And he was like, how long have you been a fan of mine? And I was like, I mean, I liked Black. That's the first thing I've seen. I just saw it like 2 weeks ago. And he was like, what did you like about me? And I was like, I thought you were, well, I thought you were a good actor. And then he was like, so you're really pretty in your profile picture. And I was like, thanks. Things are getting weird now. Like, I'm thinking that in my head. I was like, okay, things are getting strange.
Yeah.
And then and then he goes can I have a copy of your profile picture? And I was like, why do you want a copy of my profile picture? And he was like, oh, it's not for anything, like, I don't mean any harm. I just think you're really pretty and I would love to have that photo. And I was like, no.
I mean, if he really wanted it, he could get it on his own. Like, it's not
Take it off my page.
ways of getting it.
You don't have to ask me for it. But anyway, it's my page is public, so he can see it. It's not really my page. It's supposed to be the band page, but I just use it. Who cares? So then I commented. I was like, why are you? I was kind of like, why are you contacting me? Because it was actually his name with like a little check mark by it.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, here's my name online. It's like a Line app. He was like, find me on there and we'll chat more. And I was like, I don't know what Line is. So I looked it up and I was like, okay, it's just like a messenger, whatever. So I downloaded it and I found him on there. And then I'm no fool. I went to the actual page on Instagram that he has and I emailed that. And I was like, hey, just wanted you to know that I received this message from this person and I took like a screen capture of it and I sent it to the page that it looked like it was from because they both had the little check mark. So I was like, just wanted you to see this because I'm not sure if this is actually you or not. And if it's not you, somebody's pretending to be you. So I chat with this dude a little bit on Line app, and he's not being creepy or anything. Like, he's literally just like talking to me about photography, which I was fine with. He wasn't being creepy. So I start, like, anytime I would ask him a question, it would always be just like he would skip it. You know what I mean? And I was kind of like, why are you skipping these answers? Why are you skipping answering this stuff? So then I go back to my Instagram, and I go into my messages, and his messages disappeared. And it started just saying from Instagram user instead of his actual name. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. So that page that I was on gets cut off. Like, that one is gone. And then that one, the one that they both leave for a second, which was weird. And then one of them pops back up, and it was the one that I commented on the page of, where I was like, bro, that looks like that must be a prop. You know, that one pops back up. And I know it's really confusing because it's like a really good replica. I'm going to be honest. Like, it was one of those things where it was like everything that was posted on this one too. You know what I mean? Like, they took so much time to mimic everything. It was weird. No. So and apparently, I don't know if Instagram just missed it and didn't realize they had already checkmarked this one, and then just check mark that one too. But anyway, so that disappears, and I don't hear from him online for a couple of days. And then I get another message on Instagram from some guy from Korea, and he works in hospice, which was real weird because my papa had passed that morning, and this hospice guy messages me, and I was like, well, maybe it's because I had posted something about, honoring your ancestors or whatever. Then I looked at our related friends, and the only one that matched up was Young Hyun. So I was like, okay, I see where this is going. I see the lines on the wall right now. I'm seeing this. And so I said to him, I was like, that's interesting that we both follow Seong Han. And he was like, oh yeah, I'm good friends with them.
Are you?
And I was like, He was like, yeah. I was like, how are you good friends with them? He was like, oh, I was on a show with them one time. And I was like, okay. Mr. Hospice Nurse, Hospice Doctor. So then I was like, it's interesting. And then he started asking me if I had the Line app. And I was like, I was like, you must think I'm really dumb.
I will say, in his defense, Line app is a Korean app. Like, it originated from there. So I think they do use it more than, like, we use it, probably.
Right.
So that could be a coincidence, but in this case, I don't know.
No. Oh, no, there's no coincidence here. I'm
Yeah.
no fool. I actually was like, so I plain out said to him, I was like, are you actually this person that I was talking to? Just tell me. And he was like, oh no. And he doesn't talk to people on there. That's not him, honey. You get rid of him. And I was like, okay, sure. So then I go onto the Line app, and I was like, so I'm getting an email from this guy. This is his name. I was like, why don't you tell me if you're him or not? And he was like, you don't trust me, do you? And I was like, what kind of lame ass answer is that? No, I don't. I don't even know you. And I was like, way to give like those gaslighting answers. And I was like, I don't believe you. Send me a video of you saying my name right now. And he was like, well, I can give you the email to my management, and we can set up a meeting, and I could come to the US and we can hang out. And I was like, no, send me a video with you saying my name. And then he stopped talking to me. He told me, oh wait, no. Then he said, it's not safe. And then I was like, hold on a second. And then I took like a little video of my face going like this. Like I just went, and then I sent it to him, and I was like, okay, your turn. It was pretty good. It gave me something to take my mind off of what was going on, because I had just lost my papa. So I was like, all right, this is fun. I'll play.
I'm so pessimistic about that stuff that I just don't even respond to them. I could totally have been contacted by real celebrities a couple times now, and I just am like, yeah, that's fake.
Right. I totally think what happened with that other one that was checked. I totally think what happened is Instagram took them both down, checked both of them out, and then was like, oh, that one's fake.
Yeah.
And then got rid of it.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But I don't know for sure.
It probably was that, because then he would have to verify it himself, or his management team or whatever would have to verify it, and the other guy wouldn't have been able to.
Right. Exactly. Like, it was probably one of those things where, like, well, here's all our proof.
Yeah.
What's he got? But yeah, I mean, like, I just thought it was super funny that he didn't even wait like a week to contact me from another page. It's like,
And also like random, like all you commented was "ew, gross," right?
yeah,
Like,
I'm
oh,
just like, oh, you're so attractive.
that's
I was talking about fake spaghetti.
easy picking. She's so sexual. Ew, gross.
Right? Like, through all of those comments, all kinds of them were like, you're so hot! I love you! Let's have babies! And then I was all like, ew, spaghetti, fake spaghetti.
I don't know. Is your profile picture from your new video with your boobs out?
Nope. Nope.
You might have saw that and be like, boobies.
Nope. Nope. It's literally, you know that one that I have where I'm in a crown and I've got the striped dress on and I'm looking this way? It's that one. That's it.
Yes.
Not sexual.
I don't know. I do not know.
Apparently, ew, gross was like a beacon.
Yeah. Oh,
Ew.
these catfishers. I don't know why they think that we're dumb. I guess there's plenty of dumb people online, but like most of us are like, no. Like
Yeah.
I see what you're doing. Like I get the sugar daddy email all the time, and I'm just like, I wish this was true, but it's not.
Send me all that money you're talking about first, and we'll talk.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. And it just made me laugh so hard. No, it's not safe. Here's my management's email. Email them, and I'll be in one of your music videos. I think that'll be proof enough. And I was like, you ain't real.
Yeah. You know what that reminds me of? The big scandal in Drag Race this last season with the Sherry Pie. Which if people don't know, if you don't watch Drag Race, there was a contestant named Sherry Pie who actually made it to top 4. They had to disqualify her before the season started because people were coming out left and right saying that she was pretending to be like a agent named Allison Mossy and requesting like audition tapes from young college age boys of them like masturbating and shooting up steroids because like muscles are her like fetish. And so like they had to disqualify her even though she made top 4. And it's like this season was kind of cursed anyway because on top of that,
I have a question. Do you think that she would have won?
yes, actually, I think she would have won. I think they were setting her up to be the first like big girl campy theater queen winner because her edit, at least through the early episodes before they were able to edit it out, was good and fun and like Girl Next Door. Yeah, and plus this season was kind of cursed anyway because coronavirus. Like they couldn't do the finale; they had to do a a Zoom finale because Skype is dead for some reason. And they couldn't do DragCon. They can't tour. So like this has been like a rough season for them anyway.
Yeah. It's been rough for everybody.
I know.
I can't imagine like winning such like a stressful competition and then not getting to have the fruits of your labor. You know what I mean? It sucks.
Because usually like once the season's over, you're booked up, you're touring the world, you're getting all kinds of money and sponsorships and brand deals thrown at you.
Right.
They can't do any of that.
No. You can't get anything. It's just like nothing ever happened. Actually, no, it's worse because you can't get other jobs elsewhere.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, they're adapting. Like there's all these like online drag shows, which are pretty cool, but it's not the same. Yeah.
Do you want to see the guy that messaged me that I think was the other guy? Let me show you.
Sure. What are you going to show receipts?
Do what?
You're going to show the receipts?
Of course I am. Who do you think? Who do you take me for?
Receipt purchases?
Here we go. Let me see if I can get it. Can you see him?
Yes. Who is this? This is the catfisher?
Yeah, that's the catfisher.
I mean, he's not bad looking, but he's still a catfisher.
Exactly. And I was like, oh, there we go. I was like, if you just come clean and just tell me right now, because I've only been talking to you for a day. If you just come clean and tell me, it'd be fine. Like, I can still be friends with you on here.
Yeah.
But if you're going to continue what you're doing, no. Because that equals psychological problem, and I'm not gonna. And it's a psychological problem that affects me. You know? I'm like, I'm not down. I'm not down for that.
I don't know. I don't understand catfishing. Maybe it's just my pretty privilege because I'm so beautiful. But I just don't understand why you gotta catfish people.
When I was on MySpace, I used to Photoshop myself in photos with celebrities. And I would get a whole bunch of people being like, you know them? And I'd be like, yes.
But we were like children when MySpace was going on, so
I was a tiny little child, and I thought that was cool. But they were such bad Photoshops. I was like, who could fall for this?
It's like a cardboard cutout.
It was one of my senior photos, and I cut it in with Elijah Wood. And Elijah Wood was looking through CDs, and it was me standing next to him in completely different lighting and holding my jacket like this.
I remember that picture. I have that picture still of you with your jacket, like over your.
Yeah, but that I didn't fall for that. I went with it though. I was like, sure.
Photoshop was kind of new back then, so people were.
So people probably weren't paying that much. I was pretty much okay until somebody went on there and was like, "This is the original photo. She's not in this." But it was like years after.
I would have been like, yeah.
Right? I even added my name to some, like, it was celebrities on MySpace. And I just put my name on it. I was like, there she is. There she is.
Yeah.
That's how I became friends with Heath Ledger.
Oh.
Yeah. My fakeness on there. He was nice. He was real nice.
Well, you fake it till you make it. That's how you meet people.
Yeah. Yeah. Still haven't made it. Of course, I stopped faking it because I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't fake anything anymore. I want people to know who I am and if they can deal with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want a fake relationship with someone.
I agree with you 100%. Like, I want people to like me for me, and not what I am portraying myself as.
Not because something. I forget the words.
Exactly. Like, I wanna be liked for being me.
Yeah.
Of course, I will say that, like, I put out a bunch of music videos and people comment on them on my Facebook page. They're like, "That sounds great!" And then I'm like, "Could you follow my YouTube?" And they're like, "No."
I know the struggle. I know, because I'm like, hey, I drew cool things. Please share it. And they're like, I know. I drew that. That was actually a commission I did for a friend of ours. And I thought it was cool, so I put it on a shirt. I have a lot of designs. It's from my Teespring. If you go to teespring.com/ Colin Prince or users, whatever, search for Colin Prince. I'm on there, and that is the shirt that you can buy. That's a good transition to what I was going to talk about next, because on that picture you shared it on Facebook with me, and then it devolved into talking about K-pop.
Always, it always does. Which one did I share?
You shared a couple beats, yeah.
Me and the shirt.
Oh yeah, you shared that shirt picture. But like the way that you did your makeup, I was like, you remind me of one of my favorite people from 2NE1, and I wanted to talk about her because like she's like after I said that, I went and I googled some recent pictures of her, and her face has kind of gotten, I don't know what's going on. Like I went, it's Park Bomb from 21. So I did a little research. Apparently she's just always had health problems. Like I don't know if it's like well, I mean, I know she's got anxiety, but like, I think the thing with her face is she actually has like a hormone problem.
Does she have Cushing's? Because whenever I saw her, I was like,
she might. I think she also, I mean, obviously has had plastic surgery because K-pop, but like, I think she does have like either Cushing's or some sort of problem.
Because she's got the moon face.
She does. And it's just kind of gotten a lot worse over the years. I mean, I think it has to do with her anxiety or something. Because the reason that the band broke up, I didn't know this, but they broke up because she was in a drug smuggling scandal, but it turned out that the drugs that she was smuggling were just her anxiety pills from the United States. And apparently the YG, the production company, just didn't even want to deal with any kind of scandal. So they're just like, fuck it, we're just going to break this group up because I don't want to deal with this. So that sucked. But like, she was always my favorite member of 2NE1 because I thought she was weirdly cute, and like she just, I don't know, I like her.
My heart hurts so bad for these K-pop people. It really does. Yeah. Like there was another, speaking of K-pop, there's another K-pop person that passed away today.
Yeah.
And it's Johan from TST.
Mm-hmm.
I had heard a couple of their songs, but I didn't know them, you know. But it's still so sad. He was only 28, and there's just been such a string of so many of these people either killing themselves. I think most of them just kill themselves, or like lack of nutrition killing them. Jackson Wang from GOT7, he had to stop touring for a while. Like he only works with GOT7 6 months out of the year.
Yeah.
And the reason is because he kept passing out at a fan event, and they had to like rush him to the hospital, and he was severely anemic. He had severely low potassium and severely low magnesium, which is literally code for this guy is not being taken care of. He's not getting to drink properly. He's not getting to eat properly, and his body is exhausted.
Yeah.
Like, he could have died from that. And so now he's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do this to myself anymore. And luckily his management team was like, that's fine. And they worked out a system to where 6 months he's in China working on his own stuff, and then 6 months he is in Korea working on GOT7.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not an unheard of thing in K-pop. Like, that's like a consistent problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That we talk about her sometimes. Amber Liu from FX. One of the other members of FX, Sully, she killed herself, and that's when they disbanded. Well, unofficially, they're technically still together, but it's like one of those things where it's just like, oh, we're just on hiatus forever. But,
it's kind of like TLC. Like when Left Eye died, they were like,
yeah, I mean, you can't.
You can't. I mean, there's always going to be that shadow of the person with you when you go to events and stuff. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it's like just me getting into K-pop and learning about the things that these people have to go through. It's terrible. Like, I thought about this the other day. Well, I was thinking about this hardcore today after my dad texted me this morning about Johan, which I thought was great that my dad texted me about K-pop. But
K-pop news. I gotta tell Aaron.
he's like, baby girl. It's just I love our relationship now. Him and we butted heads constantly when I was younger. He was very, very demanding. But now it's very different, and I'm very appreciative of it. But anyway, but I was thinking about it after he texted me, and this has been something that I've been thinking about while I've been watching the videos and all that. These people can't have relationships, which is something that we all need, you know, whether or not you say you need it or not, where you're like, I love myself. You still, in your heart, you want somebody else to love you too. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's got to be so lonely. And then you've got, they can't have relationships. They're not allowed to eat. I was watching a video of BTS, and Jungkook was sitting there and he was eating, and everyone else had stopped eating, and they were like, okay, we're done eating, let's clean all this up, and he was still eating. And they literally tried to take the bowl from his hand and was like, no, you have to eat moderately, and was like trying to take it from his hand. And I was like, this poor kid is so freaking hungry. Let him eat what's left in his bowl. His bowl was like this big. I was like, just let him eat it. Like, he's tiny.
Gotta have the sexy, weird little boy body for the K-pop.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't give two craps about that. I'd rather they be healthy.
I do too. I don't care.
And then you've got the fans, where if they have any kind of scandal whatsoever, they're blacklisted, or they're just like completely bullied online.
One thing, I mean, again, going back to Park Bom, after doing that research, I went and watched a lot of her music videos and stuff, and the fans support her so much. They're just like, she's still beautiful. Shut up. Leave her alone. I'm just like, that makes me happy.
That's good.
You know, I think there are some K-pop fans that are very, like, aggressive and horrible, but like I think there's a lot also that are,
they actually care about the person,
and like they fight for what's right. It's like you know, not to go into political things, but like, you know, with all the Black Lives Matter protests, a lot of like the online stuff, like some of the racist Twitter accounts and stuff, like the K-pop fans are trolling them with like pictures of BTS and shit.
When they said White Lives Matter, they were like, White Lives Matter, and then had a bunch of Korean pop stars. I was like, yeah! And then BTS gave $1 million to Black Lives Matter, and then Army got together and gave them $1 million too. They matched it. I was like, yeah! Army's pretty good. I'm gonna be honest. Army is pretty good, because like they'll say things on there that I've seen where they're like, Suga needs to eat more. He's too skinny.
Yeah.
And like, I like that they're saying that, because they're kind of, it's almost like a mothering love, where they're like, I care about these people and I don't want anything to happen to them because I've seen it in other K-pop stars. So
especially, there's so many, there's an alarming suicide rate in there. So
and I mean, like, these guys and gals, they have to, they literally work from the time that they get up in the morning, which is probably like 5, 6 a.m. to probably like 1 in the morning. Like, they're constantly working. Like, they don't have any time. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I feel bad for them. And then you know that the guys in each one of them are worried about having to go into the military.
Yeah.
And then losing what they've worked really hard for.
Yeah, because most of them, they don't come back after.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. But yeah, it is a hard life, and I don't envy them for it.
Hard knock life.
It is. I mean, they put out really good stuff, and I love the music that I'm hearing, but I don't want anything to happen to them. You know?
Yeah.
I guess my thing is like, if you need a break, please take a break.
Yeah. Gosh, that reminds me of this episode of South Park. I know this is random. But there's this episode about Britney Spears on South Park. It was really kind of dark and sad. 'Cause it's just like it was this episode where there was the people of South Park were like doing this cult like, I don't know if it was the people of South Park or just people in general doing like this cult like behavior because Britney Spears came to town, and like the bullying of Britney Spears and driving her to like shave her head and shit was portrayed on the show as like a ritual thing, and at the end of the episode she like shoots herself, and and it turns out that they were fucking with her so they could have a good harvest, like they were sacrificing a young woman to a harvest, so it was like this weird metaphor about like cult behavior, sacrificing these young famous people for themselves, and then the very last scene of the episode is like, we're preparing for the next harvest, and it was like a picture of Miley Cyrus. It was like, ugh. It was dark.
That's so accurate, though.
Yeah,
it is. That is incredibly accurate. That is a perfect metaphor. It's like the Illuminati.
Yeah, I was very Illuminati. It was creepy.
Did I tell you about when I got really into researching the Illuminati?
I mean, probably, but go ahead.
It was after Whitney Houston died, and then her daughter died.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is strange. They both died in a bathtub. And
so Brittany Murphy.
Exactly. Brittany Murphy did. There was a whole bunch of this like celebrity. There was like a string of celebrities that died randomly, and then someone else related to them died as well. Like we got Anna Nicole Smith with her son, Brittany Murphy, and then her husband died, and then Whitney Houston, and then her daughter died. And you had Heath Ledger, he died, and it was just a whole bunch of like weird stuff, just real weird stuff. And I started doing research on it, and it was talking about how they sacrifice people to like Satan to like be able to continue making money and all this stuff. And it was like, and they were talking about how the Illuminati, they're really into metaphors, and one of the big metaphors that they do is like they want the bodies next to a body of water. And I was like, that's why they're in bathtubs, that's why they're in the bathroom, kind of a stuff. And it said something about I can't remember what it was. This was a while ago, but it was something about how they usually needed 2 to a family to be sacrificed during certain times of the year. And I was like, dang. But I stopped looking into that because there is a website that my band is on. I can't remember what the Reverb Nation. My band's on Reverb Nation, and I got a friend request from another band called the Illuminati. And I was like, okay.
Maybe they were recruiting you. Maybe they were like, hey, sacrifice 2 people for us and we'll make you famous.
I don't even have the heart to kill a spider in my house. I will put them outside. I could not sacrifice anybody. But dang!
Yeah. Speaking of creepy celebrity news, so you remember on season 2 of You?
Oh my gosh, I was gonna bring that up! That was one of the things I was gonna talk
Yeah.
about.
What's his name? Chris
O'Dell.
Well, I know his real name. Not Chris O'Dell. Chris D'Elia.
Oh, that's it. Sorry.
Chris O'Dell is somebody else. No, Chris D'Elia.
D'Elia. Yes.
who plays, I think his name is Henny on You. I don't know. But his whole storyline on You was grooming teenage girls. All the while, he was grooming teenage girls in real life.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't understand why. So he had to have read the script and been like, huh, this is very similar to things.
That's probably why he was drawn to the script. He probably read it and was like, ooh, this intrigues me.
But my thing is, like, if you know you're doing something wrong and you're committing a crime, wouldn't you not want to draw attention to that? Wouldn't you want to play against type and be like, I'm Mr. Rogers or something?
Well, this actually brings me to one of the things I wanted to discuss.
Okay.
So, you need, like, anybody that's watching this, go back and watch stuff that Tina Fey has put out. Because you will consistently see her calling out predators. Just low-key calling them out. So, in Kimmy Schmidt, this is before anything happened with Matt Lauer. The very first episode, they're on the news with Matt Lauer, and he says, I'm going to read the quote.
Yeah.
I'm always amazed at what women will do because they're afraid of being rude. He literally says that, and then it comes out that he like tricks women to come back into his office and then like pushes a button and it locks the door where they can't get out. And it's kind of like, thank you, Tina Fey, for putting that little thing in there. And then also on 30 Rock, she called out Bill Cosby 5 years before it was ever brought up.
Yeah. It's like what's his name? The big producer guy that got taken down?
Harvey Weinstein?
Yes. Yeah, there have been stories about him for 20 years. It's because everybody knows, but they can't say anything.
Exactly.
They'll get sued to death.
Exactly.
So, like, all they can do is make jokes about it until finally somebody's able to take them down.
Well, it's not even just that. I feel like they're trying to tell people without actually having to tell people. Because with Bill Cosby, this is what happened. So Tracy Morgan left TGS, which is the show that they all work on 30 Rock.
Yeah.
And there is a person in the cast of TGS that can do a really good Bill Cosby impression. And they kind of talked to, like, Liz Lemon and that guy talked to each other and was like, we got to get Tracy to come back on the show. Call him and pretend to be Bill Cosby. He loves Bill Cosby. And he calls him pretending to be Bill Cosby. I'm going to read it to you. He says, I want you to come back to TGS for the people who like the jokes and the things. Okay, so that's what the impersonator said. Bill Cosby, you got a lot of nerve getting on the phone with me after what you did to my Aunt Paulette. And then he says, I think you're confusing me with someone else. And he said, 1971 Cincinnati. She was the cocktail waitress with the droopy eye. And he said, I'm the guy with the pudding. And then he said, you're trying to tell me what to do. Dr. Heathcliff Huxtable with your light-ass kids. Jack, why would you make me talk to this man? This was five years before anything came out, and it's just kind of like, Tina Fey is like a hardcore feminist, so she would secretly put this stuff in there.
Oh yeah, not even so secretly.
Yeah, there's no secret about this whatsoever. Like, she's very blatantly like, this guy's a creep.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also Rose McGowan from, like, Charmed and stuff. Like, she would always openly say, "Hey, Harvey Weinstein raped me." And so, like, for a long time, she was blacklisted in Hollywood, and they were just making her out to be
crazy.
But it turns out, yeah, she probably was, and that sucks so much because, like, I don't know, I don't understand how these guys keep working. It's just like Bryan Singer has been seen at multiple gatherings where underage boys were passed around. And yet he's still one of the big directors in Hollywood. I don't understand why. So I have, like, after finding out all of that stuff, I have a hard time going back and watching the old X-Men stuff. Because I'm just like, well, this guy made this. Also, did he make the Freddie Mercury movie? I think he did.
He might have. It was a bad movie, so.
Well, I'm just saying you're justified in not liking it. So, because
I mean, like, people keep saying like this is just a Hollywood thing, and it's like no, this is everywhere. There's creeps everywhere. Like, oh, this is what I was gonna say. Corey Feldman, his movie that he just put out. I watched it. I saw it live. I actually paid for it because dude got molested like a bunch. I will give him money. I don't care. He didn't get anything from anybody trying to protect him, so why not? He like I read his book Choreography, and he said what happened to these people, but he gave them like code names and didn't actually say their name out right. But I mean, the code names were pretty similar to what their actual names were. So then
Cody Haynes,
Farley Heen. But it's just kind of like he's been talking about the rings that they have out there for molesting little boys for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like he got made out to be crazy, and then it turned him crazy, which is so sad because now he's so scared all the time and he thinks everybody's trying to murder him, which potentially could be. But one of the guys that he named is actually was the manager of oh my god, what is his name? Yum. Ooh, add it to the collection.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber. He's the manager of Justin Bieber. And you see where Justin Bieber went. He's real dark now. He's real dark.
Yeah. As soon as he turned 18, he was like, I'm gonna do all the drugs and go a little crazy and be randomly into Jesus sometimes.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not just in Hollywood. It's in normal life too. And like it's in K-pop too, just like we talk about in one of our upcoming we talked about it in our last one.
Yeah, it's people like there have been people that came forward in their little K-pop schools saying that to get sponsorships they had to sleep with businessmen.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's not just the girls, because there was an entire boy band that came forward and was like, we were molested by our management team. And it is messed up. It's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why people like to insert their power on others. Bothers me. I always think of it as kind of like, I always wonder if they're kind of have leftover things from past lives where like maybe they were I don't know, like a wolf or something in a past life.
I don't know.
They have a predator kind of sense about them.
I think it's kind of the same thing that you can apply to like bad cops. Like it's probably they didn't have a lot of power when they were younger, and then suddenly they have power and they're just like, well, I can do whatever I want now.
Mm-hmm. It's messed up.
Yeah. That's why I don't want to have like a lot of power. Like I would want to be comfortable to where I could just do my own thing, because I feel like power corrupts everybody.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that ever.
I found what K-pop group just came forward. It's called 18.
Oh.
It's a group of 10 young males, and they were sexually abused by the CEO and his wife, and they had their daughter watch. Isn't that messed up?
Great.
And they informed the police. The police didn't do anything. So then they went to their Instagram and was like, please help us. We need help. And I don't know what happened since.
I doubt anybody helped because, I mean, first of all, like that would happen. I'm here thinking like, oh, it's their culture, but like it wouldn't happen here either. Like they would just be like, yeah. But like, I mean, it is kind of like an honor thing over there. It's just like, oh,
Well, he's older than you.
He would never do this.
Exactly. It's not different than here.
It's not.
The only thing that is different is, and it just got switched this year, the age of consent in Korea was 13.
See, like they say that in like Japan too, but like I've always had people say, because like you will see this go back and forth between, you know, the creepy weebs that are like, oh, I can have sex with a 13-year-old in Japan, and then people will be like, no, that's, I mean, maybe that's a technicality, but Japanese people think that's gross. So
they do think it's gross, but legally they would have standing with it. They just moved it this year to 16, so it's the same as it is in like Kentucky now.
Yeah.
That's still, I don't know. 16's better than 13. Yeah. I remember being a 13-year-old. I was a baby, you know.
I know. I remember being 13, being like, I'm grown. Like, I look back. I look at our pictures. I'm just like, what?
Oh, speaking of this, I found a whole bunch of photos of us. Hold on.
Hello.
Hi, we're back. I'm under my kotatsu and I'm in my rocking chair.
I'm eating tacos. We're gonna continue where we left off. Actually, we left off on the K-pop stuff.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that group?
Oh, I recorded it when we were talking about it before.
Did you?
Yeah, I was still recording.
I was away. I was like, my phone was not right.
I was looking down, so I didn't even see it.
It was
when you sat back down and you were looking at me.
Okay. Well, like my phone wasn't sitting on my stuff, so like I was just like, it was like just hanging in the free. It was just me holding it. Yeah. Oh. Well, she explained that, but then like she decided to hit record because we were talking about the Olympics and how it's not going to happen this year. And there's like an anime conspiracy. Well, not conspiracy, but like if you've seen the movie Akira. It's an anime classic with psychic kids and Japanese gangs and stuff, but it's set in the year 2020, and it's the Olympics were going to be held in Tokyo in the anime in 2020. This was made in the 80s, so they didn't know yet, I don't think. But it was going to be set in Tokyo in 2020, and there's apparently some sort of plague going around, and they're like, postpone the Olympics. Like, it's all over the walls on the anime and stuff.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. There's been so much stuff like that. Like, there comes a point where, like, is this a coincidence? You know what I mean? Like,
it's that conspiracy.
I mean, there's that whole conspiracy theory where it's like the New World Order, where like everything's being controlled by one thing. And I'm kind of like, well, maybe that's what's going on, and everybody, all the governments know about it, but we don't, because they don't tell us squat.
I would not be surprised. Sorry, I'm stuffing my face with cackles.
Cackle? Oh my goodness, I want a taco. I watch you eat that taco. I want taco. I need that. I do. I want to eat that taco.
I'm gonna be real upset later because my tummy's gonna be like, "Mrrr."
You're so spicy. Why are you so spicy, your bud?
But right now,
Spicy. See, mine, my big thing is I don't taste spicy. So I tend to add way more spice than completely necessary. Because I don't taste it. And
But
then anyone else except for you, whenever I make stuff that's just for you and I, that's when I unload the spiciness.
I love spicy. I can taste it, but I still like it. But I just regret it later.
I like it as long as it tastes good.
Mm-hmm.
It can be super spicy and I'll still be like, yeah. But if it doesn't taste good and it's just hot for no reason,
Yeah.
I'm not into it.
Like I like spice for flavor, not for pain. So like I don't understand these people that are like, I can eat this ghost pepper raw. I'm like, but does it taste good? Because it really doesn't.
Right. One time I thought that I had one of those long peppers. I can't remember what they're called. I thought it was a wax pepper. Like I thought that's what it was. And I put a whole bunch of it in my food. And then it turned out to be habaneros.
I like habaneros though.
I loved it. I thought it was really good, but everyone else was like, oh! Their faces were burning off. I still enjoyed it. I was like, more for me. Oh, I forgot I had one more mochi. Oh, I bet. Oh, it's all melted and armpity. I call it armpit cake. It's armpit candy. Oh, it melted. All the ice cream fell out of it.
Oh no! Mush it and shove it in your freezer, and then have like a janky mochi later. Well, that too. That works.
Strawberry milkshake.
Did it bring all the boys to the yard?
She's talking about her boobs.
I know. What her butt? It looks like. Oh, what does it look like? It looks like mashed potato. It looks like bull testicles.
That's what I was saying. It looks like a ball sack.
Disgusting.
Mm.
Speaking of disgusting and weird, in anime, I've started trying to watch a new anime.
What is it?
On Netflix. It's a Netflix exclusive. It's called Doro Hidoro, I think. Yes, Doro Hidoro.
Is it H-E?
Is it what?
How do you spell it?
Dorohedoro. So Doro Hidoro.
So the Doro Hedoro.
Sure. But it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I've watched a couple episodes and I still have no idea what's going on.
Explain.
So it's like it takes place in like this futuristic, post-apocalyptic, Blade Runner-y type city. And like the main character he's like a lizard man. He's like a guy that's a lizard, but like he was also a human at one point. And he has, I don't know, but like he has like he goes around sticking people's heads in his mouth because he has a person living in his mouth. And like when he does that, like the person in his mouth will be like, "You're not the one," and like he's trying to find the one, which I'm assuming is the person that will turn him back into a human and not a lizard. But I can't tell if like the person in his mouth is him or something else? Like, what happens when he turns back? Is there still going to be a person in his mouth? I don't know. And he has, like, I don't know if it's his girlfriend or if it's his friend who's just a girl. Oh no. Hello?
You stopped moving. Oh, you're back. Look, there was a bug.
What happened?
There's a bug.
You know what? This is on par for the plot of this show. Anyway, so like he has a friend who's a girl, maybe a girlfriend, I don't know. But like she's a human and she's got this blonde ponytail and she has this restaurant that's like literally the most disgusting restaurant I've ever seen in my life. Like just
Why?
weird shit all over the walls and just like raw meat hanging from the ceiling in the dining room and everything is stained. It's just awful. Yeah, and there's sorcerers running around. Like I guess like part of the reason why the world is so shitty is because like there's just these sorcerers running around, and so the two of them just murder sorcerers. Unclear as to why yet. Again, I've only seen 3 episodes. At one point, they break into a sorcerer's house and they get turned into mushrooms, and then they're fine.
What?
Exactly. And I have no idea what's happening with this show, but I kind of want to keep watching, even though I don't understand it, and it makes my
figure it out.
Yeah, but like I said, I mentioned it on Facebook. I'm just like, what the fuck is this show? And everyone's like, you gotta keep watching. You gotta keep watching. It's so good. I'm like, I mean, I guess I trust you, but man, I don't know. They just exploded into mushrooms, and then they're fine. What's going on? Why does he keep putting people in his mouth? What's happening? It has really great like animation style. I will say that. Like that's why I started watching it, because I was like, it looks really cool. I don't know.
What? Why is this wet?
Exactly. That's just part of the plot.
Where's my pillow? Where's my pillow wet? It was behind me.
Because of Doro Hidoro. It's just part of the world.
I think my little rocking chair might have been wet and I sat in it. Oh
no. Did one of your children leave a special surprise?
Well, I'm not sure. I hope it's not pee, because
well, you know what? You can just take a shower.
It doesn't smell like pee. No, it doesn't smell like pee. It smells like water.
Great moments with the Nerdy 30.
It smells like water. It's not pee.
I don't think it's pee.
Thank goodness. I don't think it's pee. Oh, but man, my back is wet. What did I know? It's because my legs are so warm that I didn't notice. That's the dangers of a kotatsu.
Maybe it's just sweat. Like it's just your butt sweat because of all the heat.
No, it's like it's weird. No, it's in the chair. I'm gonna hold on a second.
And it's all the lizard guy's fault.
Yes, it's the lizard man. That's yucky. That's yucky. I'm just gonna sit back on the floor. I had too high of hopes to sit in a cushy little thing.
Oops.
She's got high hopes. She's got high. Don't sit and pee. Hopes. Well, at least it wasn't pee. So those were my hopes, and they have been reached.
I hope you do an edit of this where you like stop and like you freeze frame you and you put across the screen. At least it wasn't pee.
Oh, I forgot. I went over and I grabbed those photos. I don't know why I didn't show them. Oh, looky, there's one of my little punk boy.
Oh.
Isn't he cute?
Yeah, before we stopped recording, or maybe, I don't know. She was like, I have pictures of us, so we're going to be doing it.
I had recorded it, but we didn't do it. So, this is the Halloween Cabaret.
Yes, this is, I am Jack Skellington, but not.
But, you were, Hack Bellington.
I was Jack the MC that was loosely based on Jack Skellington because our opening song was This Is Halloween.
I can't wait to not have the circle. Lame.
I actually do have like a digital version of this on Facebook though, so like.
Yeah, my dad took that.
Yeah.
My dad took this photo. That's me. That's me, and that's you. In case anybody was curious.
I have a scorpion necklace on. It was rad.
I'm doing this face.
Yeah, because it was like you were. I think that was This Is Halloween that we were singing right in that picture.
Yeah. That's This Is Halloween.
Because you were so scary.
I was spooky. I would get down on the floor and I'd put my leg over my shoulder.
I remember like one of the like little things that I would do during that show because it was the Halloween Cabaret, so it was basically we would sing musical numbers, and serve food to people. And like one of the things that I would do was like I had like a pair of scissors and I would just be like, you know, just snapping them every now and then. Like I would walk around and like there's this table of like little old ladies that just like were so scared every time like I would just do this, snap, snap. They'd be like, "Wow! Ah!" Like,
you gonna murder me.
It's not that scary, girl.
No. No.
Like it's not. This isn't.
Honey. That's when it's one of those things where it's like, what happened to you?
Yeah, like this.
You know it.
Oh God. Yeah, I was like, this isn't Halloween Horror Nights, girl. This is barely like this is like Disney Channel shit.
I went for the crazy British little girl where I was like, you know, like the British doll that comes to life and brings you food. That's what it is.
I spit in your food.
You enjoy it.
Oh, side note, this does not have to do with the Halloween Cabaret. This has to do with one of the magical dinners. The very first magical dinner I ever did when I was in 9th grade, I accidentally spilled like soup on an old lady's head. And for some reason, she didn't hate me. I almost started crying.
You know what, though? When I started working at the ranch house, it was like a little burger joint. There was the girl that was training me was like, don't feel bad if you spill things, because one time I spilled a thing of hot coffee on a baby.
Yeah. I think
in trouble.
Yeah.
But it's probably because she told me, she was like, I started crying really hard because I hurt a baby.
Yeah. I think looking back, that moment was probably why I've never worked as a waiter. Because like I was like, this is not something for me. I don't want to spill something on someone's head again. Yeah.
I was a waiter a couple of times. I was a waiter at Ranch House and I was a waiter at The Onion, which was a Chinese food place. The Ranch House was very poorly run, and there were people in there that were embezzling money and were stealing tips and stuff, which was awful. The Onion was great. I actually liked working at that place, but at that point, I was tired.
Yeah.
So working in that sort of area is not great for when you're tired. You know, because I had just finished my college degree, and like I was full time consistently with that. And so I was like, I was run down. I was very run down. I should have taken off maybe a month. Just take it off a month, and I would have been fine. But oh yeah, I was exhausted. But the people that worked there were so good. Like I loved those people. I'm still friends with them. One of the gals, you know, I actually just texted with her the other day. Cool lady. I like her. Hold on. I have more photos of us.
You hear my sister's dog?
I hear him.
I think she's feeding him, and he's like,
Okay, are you ready for this?
yeah. Oh, it's senior prom, junior prom, senior prom.
Yep, senior prom.
It was senior prom because you had longer hair. Because junior prom, you had like a pixie cut.
I did have pixie.
And also because like junior prom, we had just made up from our like 1 year fight.
It wasn't 1 year. Because remember, we went back and we looked at your
my live journal.
Your live journal. It was like a month and a half.
It felt really long.
It did feel long. That's because we wanted to talk to each other. That was it in a nutshell. We wanted to be friends.
I don't know.
It was apparently something that Maurice said, and I wonder what Maurice said. I don't remember what Maurice said, but who cares?
I don't know.
Who cares? The past is the past. I'm gonna cover up the other people.
I have this framed in a box in my garage.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Yeah, I have that picture.
Chocolate covered pretzel Travis.
Oh my god! And I have bangs. What was this? The after party where like I don't know why I thought I was like super cool, like with curled over bangs, but it was you know what it was? It was that stupid hairstyle that was all the rage for guys in the 2000s.
It looked good on you though.
I don't know. The Caesar, I don't think it looks good on anybody. It's when you take your like your front of your hair and curl it over like Julius Caesar.
Mm. Yeah. Well, Julius Caesar had more of like a straight line than you. Yours was more like flooped in the middle.
Well, I think the sad thing is I think I actually curled it down with a curling iron.
It just did what it wanted.
Yeah. 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 Is that still prom?
Yeah, we dancing.
Yeah. You know what song is probably playing? I think that yeah. That too. But when I think of prom, I think of Outcast. Hey yeah.
Oh, it could be that as well. It could also be
With the Killers.
Yeah, it could be the Killers. Because well no, because we would be doing our dances.
Yeah.
Our very specified dances.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I remember.
That was good stuff, wasn't it? I still get people to this day, they'll like message me and be like, I heard the Killers on the radio and I thought of you. Well, I mean, it was my ringtone for the longest time too. Coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down because I want it all.
Not that one that makes me think of you. It's the other one. The
you gotta look like a girl.
That's the one that we more consistently the dance to.
That is the one we danced to. Which one was it that was my ringtone?
I don't know. There's only like 2 Killer songs that were popular.
That's true. It's one or the other. But yeah, it was my ringtone. Oh, wait for it. Oh, I look like I'm naked. I
feel like you're probably not though. Oh yeah.
Doesn't it look like I'm naked?
The prom. Yeah, well, you're wearing a strapless dress, so.
I am wearing a strapless dress, but where's your boobies?
You look a lot like your sister in this picture.
Kristen?
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry.
So the other day, we had the birthday party for all the people that we missed the birthday parties of, but we were all still practicing social distancing. We had like masks on and stuff. Well, at least I did because I'm not crazy. But I mentioned that she was talking about something. I don't remember what brought this up, but I was like, I mentioned that she called me trash basket, and she was like, I don't remember this. And I was like, yeah, you called me trash basket. And she was like, oh, well, that's actually kind of a cool name. Can I bring it back? And I was like, no. And my dad actually chimed in, and my dad was like, I'm pretty sure she took that as you being mean. Yeah. And then I was like, yeah, and for my birthday, you got me a candle of a trash can. Because I was the trash basket.
Yeah. It's probably one of those things where she actually thought it was like a term of endearment. But like you were like, no.
I was like, no, she called me that because she just didn't like me very much.
Well, I mean, because like that's why I do not joke with people like that unless I know they know me. Because I have a very, like, I can come off very dry and bitchy for a lot of things. And people think that that's like me seriously.
They take it wrong.
And they take it wrong. Like, I remember there was a girl in school who maybe it turns out was, but I do not condone slut shaming, but my nickname for her was Slut and Whore. And then like she would later come to me and be like, that makes me feel bad about myself. Can we not? And I was like, okay. Like I didn't understand it at the time. Like that's one of those things that people had to tell me, and I'd be like, okay. But also looking back at it, again, I don't condone slut shaming, but this is a person that I don't know if you know who it is. You might.
There's a part of me that thinks I do.
It's somebody that we did theater with.
Technical?
No. She was an actress.
Oh.
And it is somebody that maybe did fill that role in your life. Years later.
Oh. Oh. Yes, she did fulfill that, didn't she?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, wait, there could be two different people.
Well, this person...
Both of them fulfilled the role. One of them went all the way through with it.
I think this is the one that went all the way through with it.
Yeah. She apologized to me, though.
I know. Still, it was my prophetic bitchiness.
Like,
I would never do that shit now.
I think you are going to sleep with my best friend's boyfriend.
Yeah. I mean, again, I would never say that shit now, like, and be serious about it unless, like, you were like a good friend of mine, and I'm
right. I mean, like, I think you've called me a slut like once, but you were laughing about it, and it did not bother me because I know that I'm far from that.
Never. If I call you a slut or a whore or a bitch, that's a good thing.
It's a term of endearment.
If I am like really polite with the things that I'm calling you, I'm probably being bitchy.
See, it was actually recently that you said it to me, and I laughed about it because, like, I know you and you know me, but you do have to have that boundary with like other people, you know.
Yeah, I do, especially because like back then, like I was really kind of coming into my sexuality and my like trying out being an introvert and finding out it was not really for me. But like, doing that kind of like meant it was trial and error, and I would say some things that now I think are dumb and shitty.
Yeah. I mean, you're growing up and you're figuring yourself out. That's it in a nutshell. You're kind of like, I mean, it's just like with anybody, you know?
No, my butt is wet.
Did you feel stuff, or is you just sweating?
Spilled some water.
Yeah, this thing is still like damp. This thing I was sitting on. At least it wasn't cat pee, not cat pee. But yeah.
Kotatsu, do you have any more pictures of us?
No, that's all the pictures I got that I found. There's probably more in a big box. I was looking through our old pictures to find photos of my papa for the funeral video, and I found those in the midst of it, and I was like,
Yeah.
friendship.
I think I have most of those same pictures in a box in the garage.
Yeah.
So,
we must have just bought doubles and like shared it. That's what we must have done, because I felt like I had seen these ones before.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
I also have a disc. I also have a disc with all of it on that I found when we moved like 2 years ago.
That's awesome. So you get a little backup thing?
Yeah, it still works.
Oh, that's so good.
It has our theater pictures. It has funny pictures of our peers that have gone on to be sort of famous.
I'm gonna say, I don't need to say who, but I know.
Yeah,
I know who.
first times in drags.
We have a couple of people that have gone on to be kind of famous,
Mm-hmm.
which is exciting.
I can only think of like 2 or 3.
Yeah. One is the brother of that guy I dated. And then the other one is the amazing Christy Bauer, which she's going to be doing songs for a Disney show.
I love her so much.
She's such a doll baby. I love her too.
And see, that it's weird because like I didn't really know her that well in high school,
Right.
but like we did college together, so like I did a lot of theater with her in college, so I got close with her then, and she's just so. I love her.
She's a cool lady. I've always enjoyed her. I think she was in Kristen's grade, so I knew her even before I was in high school.
Yeah, I knew of her.
Always been real nice.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite people out of that group. I think, still like out of all of our theater peers from school, like I think she's one of my favorite people.
Yeah, she's real cool. She is. And I enjoy her. And like I think the thing that I like about her is she doesn't have a mean bone in her body. And like she's very intellectual and like quirky, and I dig her. I mean, I'm sure she can be mean to someone, to stand up for herself, but I just think she's just a real
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I didn't want people to think that I was saying she's a pushover. But no, she's a real cool chick. I like her. I like her a lot. I actually saw her. Oh no, we talked about this. That I saw her at Half Price Books, and I was like, "Hey, girl, what are you doing here?" She's like, "I'm running from New York."
New York is ground zero right now with the plague.
It is. I'm really glad that she got here before it hit really bad, because they wouldn't have let her leave.
Yeah, you can't leave New York, or like if you do, like you have to be in quarantine for like a month.
Yeah, she was supposed to be in quarantine for like 14 days, but I saw her half priced. I was like, girl.
I mean, coming to Indiana is its own quarantine. It's just cornfields.
Exactly. And I mean, it's not like we're doing anything. The only thing that I would be worried about is if she contracted it.
Yeah, I've been
which she do it.
I've been in quarantine for 2 years, so
pretty much me too. Pretty much me too.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. So I don't know how I'm going to get to my esthetician classes, because apparently it's Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. for 6 months. And I'm like, and it's in Jeffersonville. And Mitch is on second shift.
Yeah.
So, and then my mom doesn't really drive anymore. So I'm kind of like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't really know what to do about that.
When were you gonna try to do it?
I was thinking about August because they have one starting up in August.
Hmm.
And I thought that it would be good just to get in there and get it done.
Are they still doing it though because of everything going on, or is
Yeah, they are. They're still doing it.
it?
My big thing is like I want to have a job where I don't have to worry about controlling someone or taking care of someone. You know what I mean? Like in like esthetician, like people will be coming in, they'd be like, "Hey, I want a facial," and I'll be like, "Cool, here's some goop on your face." You know what I mean? And then they can leave, and I can go home and enjoy myself at home. I actually, I found out they make like 18 to $30 an hour, which I'm kind of like,
Yeah,
gimme. And it's in 6 months. That is such a short amount of time to be making that kind of money.
that'd be fun.
Yeah. So, so I want to try and get there. I just don't know how I'm going to do it. It's weird. It's weird.
No, I was just saying, speaking of bees, here's how like gross I am, I guess. There's been a dead bee in my back window in my car for 3 years. And at this point I'm just like I'm just interested to see how long it stays there. Because it's just like it hasn't crumbled or rotted. It's just a mummified bee in my back window.
It's their exoskeleton. Their exoskeleton stays intact, but what happens is the inside like liquefies. And then
Yeah.
it dries out.
Well, it's just a mummified exoskeleton bee.
Very fast. I've seen it in your car.
Well, because
Yeah.
like I haven't removed it because like I'm just like I'm interested to see how long. I don't know.
I'll just stay there.
That's crazy.
I'll just stay there. Like those bug collectors, they don't have to put anything on them. Like cicadas too.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
I would think just after a certain point it just crumbles into dust.
Just hangs out. I mean, if you touched it, you would like disturb the whole thing. It would. But it's just gonna sit there.
Probably.
It's gonna sit there for a long time.
That's
It
crazy.
might start to decompose at some point, but it'll be slow.
Interesting.
I mean, with the fact that it's already been there for 3 years too.
Yeah. It's been there since I moved out of my apartment. That's insane.
Cackle!
What? Did what?
Cackle.
Oh, tacos.
Cackle.
Tacos!
Taco! I was like saying everything that I'm enjoying to eat, like that fish on SpongeBob, who is gay.
Who is gay? Well, see, now there's discourse in the LGBT community because some people are like, he's gay, and other people are like, there was an episode where he's clearly asexual. So it's like, people are like, he's gay or asexual, which you can be both, actually.
You can.
Maybe both.
Well, he also tried to date Sandy on an episode, so I just think he does what he wants.
He's a sponge.
He's a sponge. He can do what he wants. There's spores. There's spores mate in the air and stuff.
Yeah.
He doesn't care what's around. He's just gonna do whatever.
Do whatever.
Little SpongeBob can love who he loves, right?
Yeah. Have you seen that SpongeBob comic going around Facebook? It's like horror SpongeBob. It's actually kind of scary. It's like Patrick is like, SpongeBob, do you know how starfish eat people or eat? And it's like him being a starfish and like opening up and like pulling SpongeBob and like other fish randomly into his body and like slowly eating them, and then like it becomes almost like a zombie thing, and then Sandy ends up being the final girl and hunting him down, and it's crazy, but it's kind of fun.
Sandy would be the final girl.
Yeah.
But dang,
It's a little scary.
starfish are scary.
They are.
They're another thing that dries up and doesn't decay.
I know. It also makes you think about mermaids, where you're just like, you have starfish sucking on your boobies.
I watched The Lighthouse. Did I tell you about this? It actually goes with the most uncomfortable sex scenes as well.
You've told me sort of about it.
It's interesting. I mean, the acting is phenomenal in it. There's a fly. The acting's phenomenal in it. But oh my gosh, you see so much booty. But anyway, there is a scene in it where Robert Pattinson is going like nutballs crazy, and he walks out on the rocks, and in the middle of the rocks he finds like a naked mermaid, and she's got like a cloaca, and he like does it with the cloaca.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked that scene up. It's weird. Yeah. Speaking of Twilight actors, did you see Kristen Stewart just got cast as Princess Diana in a movie?
Really?
Yeah, and now of course people are like, oh, Twilight, oh, she's gonna suck, blah. You know, the same argument that people can't stop making.
And it's always incels.
It is. Yes.
Always. There's so many of them on the interwebs.
So many of them.
That's why they breed.
I swear to God, like I don't care about their opinions. Every time like you post, like if you want to post something about some sort of nerdy thing that you just want to post about, they're just like, well, actually, up and give you my unwarranted opinion about this. I'm like, I don't care. You're not educating me. You're just being a dick.
Exactly. Like, there was something that I posted about like C.S. Lewis, and the incels came out of everywhere.
I'm surprised they didn't respond to me, because I was just like, you guys, like I posted that GIF, like the point flying over their head.
Like the whole thing was just about being nice to each other. They were like, "Wow, this coming from the guy that blah 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 blah," and I'm like, guys, I don't really care about what he did. I just care about what he said, and that's why I've shared it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not paying attention to that. I don't care.
I hate it, because it's just like they're begging for attention. It's just like they're like, look at how intelligent I am. Please say you like me because I'm so intelligent. Like, you know.
What it is they don't even know the facts. They just look it up online.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, well this is what I saw.
Like that one time on our Facebook page when we were talking about the Resident Evil movies, and suddenly someone was like, did you know that Mila Jovovich was a prostitute? And I was like, what? No. Like, literally use Wikipedia or something. Like, this feels like weird, hostile, masculine conspiracy theories that you're coming up with right now. Yeah.
He was a model in Russia. Are you Ukraine?
Yeah. She was, I don't know. I think she's is one of those.
Yeah. But she was a model there, and a lot of the models have that happen to them, like in K-pop.
Yeah.
Just because she was a model doesn't mean she was that. Good Lord.
And also, like, I mean, if that happened, that kind of sounds like it wouldn't have been her fault anyway. But like, this person was probably like, "Oh, she's a whore."
Mm-hmm. No. I remember I like combated him for like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Longer than that.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to this person.
I don't either.
I wonder if they even listen to this stuff. Like,
No,
because there have been several episodes where we're just like, "Hey, this is some shitty shit that you said," and like, I guess he just didn't hear it because it's
He doesn't. He doesn't watch it. He just looks at the topic that we bring up, and then he tries to tell us about the topic, even though we already discussed that in the podcast. But he's like, "Let me tell you something you don't know," and it's always geared towards me, and I'm like,
because you're a woman.
"Mm-hmm."
You don't know anything. Your vagina steals your brain power, so you don't know as much.
Actually, when a lady has a baby, their brain shrinks a little bit.
The what?
Their brain shrinks a little bit. The
Ooh.
white man, it shrinks a little bit because it goes down into the baby. But it actually makes the brain work more efficiently.
Yeah. Well, we do have a whole...
Moms are all like, "I am the king!" You know?
We actually do have like a whole section of our brain, I think, that we don't even use, right?
Mm-hmm. But I actually think part of that might activate when you have a kid. I don't know. I think I'm too smart as it is. I don't need a kid.
I think that's smart. Actually, I do think... No, I'm not going to say that because people will be mad at me.
What?
No, I'm going to say it anyway.
What is it? Tell me.
I was just like, I don't know. Some of the moms I've met make me question whether or not you do get dumber when you have kids. It's just...
It's probably stress brain, to be honest. Because
maybe, I don't know.
when you start getting so stressed out and you start losing sleep because your baby's screaming all the time, you get brain fog, which is hard.
Yeah. I don't know.
My nose is running. I didn't feel the heat, but
I've
man,
had to pick my nose for 30 minutes, so...
Do what?
I said I had to pick my nose.
Oh. I'm gonna be really silent and see if I can hear you. I can.
I can't get it. Why?
Oh, Travis. I can hear it in there.
It's stuck.
I can hear the squishing. Kotatsu. Kotatsu. Did you get it?
Guess what?
Nothing.
Nothing happened.
Why is it that when I put this blanket up to my face goes white? And then
I don't know, maybe you're like reflecting off of the blanket, the ring light.
But wouldn't there be light there already on my face?
I don't know, man. I'm not a physics person. I don't know about light and stuff.
God, look. Have you been watching the new Queer Eye?
I did, yeah. I watched all of it. Like, I watched the Queer Eye in Japan, and then I was like, what? You know what? I might as well just catch up. So, like, I watched the 4th and 5th seasons.
I've been watching the new season recently. I watched one last night. I'm on the one, I just finished the one where it was the little doctor lady. You know what I'm talking about? Where like she just got done with residency school and
Yeah.
yeah.
Why can't I wait? Why can't I remember?
She's a little girl that like had her hair up in like the side ponytail. She's Asian.
I haven't seen this one.
Oh, you haven't? It's a good one.
No. Is this a new one?
Yeah, it's one of the new episodes.
How?
There's one this season. You might have seen this one. I don't know, but there's one this season that just breaks my heart. This lady, like, she works all the time, has kids, and her husband has ALS.
Yeah.
And like that poor little thing, she's all over the place. She got control issues, as one would have when you're losing your loved one.
Why does none of this sound familiar? I could have sworn it said new episodes, and then I watched them all.
I don't know. Maybe you were back a season you didn't realize.
I don't know. Let me. You know what? My TV's right in front of me. I'm gonna figure this shit out.
Do it.
You
There's
might
this
hear.
little fly that keeps buzzing around my head.
You might hear a bunch of Korean screaming because now all my suggested shows are Korean.
That's right. All of my suggestion shows are Korean, and I watched them. I actually started watching a new Korean show. Because It's My First Life is what it's called.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. Wait. Hold on. So it looks like new episodes were added since I stopped watching.
There you go.
I don't know if they added even more episodes, because they added new episodes at the beginning of the month, and it looks like there's like a couple more new episodes, like 5 new episodes. Because the last episode I watched was the guy from the Jersey Shore that was like
They were like, I'm pretty sure you're gay.
Well, they were like, he's got such a great body, I can't stop looking at him.
Remember when Tan kept touching him? I was like, Tan,
Yeah.
put those hands away, young man.
Yeah.
Put those hands away.
Yeah. Anyway, this Korean show.
It's called Because This Is My First Life.
Do you not like it?
It's another one of those Korean shows that it's the will they, won't they? And they do far many won't they's.
So I just had my first that weird kiss thing that we were talking about on Black. We're like he got hit in the head with a shovel and he falls over and he's like, "Brrr."
Isn't it great? It does. There was one show that I watched recently that did not have that. And I was like, hold on, what am I watching? What show was it? What show was it? I mentioned it. Sorry about the noises. Continue watching. I didn't even start watching that. I can show you the world.
One show that they keep suggesting to me that looks cute that I might watch called Mystic Pop-Up Bar. And it's a Korean show.
Mystic Pop-Up Bar?
Yeah, it's a brand new one that is still airing and they update it every Wednesday.
I might have to check it.
Hold on. Let me look because it's in my list.
I can't find that. I can't find what it was called. But it was so I don't even remember what I was looking for.
Hold on. A young man with a unique ability begins working for a centuries-old bar owner who fuck. Go back. Who resolves customers' emotional troubles by entering their dreams. Yeah, so it's basically like they work at this bar that can enter people's dreams, and they can it's kind of like a fantasy island situation where they're like the people come to this bar and they go into their dreams and give them what they want.
That sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm. It's a Netflix exclusive, and it's brand new, and new episodes come out every Thursday.
Let me find it. Let me find it. I want to find this one that I watched that had the people actually making out, and they actually had like I mean, it wasn't like you didn't see things, but
Yeah.
they actually had a sex scene, which I was like,
Thank you.
yeah, but I don't know. It was I just was shocked whenever I saw actual like kissing, productive. But
Weird.
it was super weird. I wasn't expecting it. And then there was that moment where I was like, am I comfortable with this now?
I just watched Obsession. I should be comfortable.
No, this was before.
Oh, wow.
This was before. If I had watched it afterward, I would have been like, this is nothing.
I can't believe I was uncomfortable.
It was fine. I actually wasn't uncomfortable. But it was fun to say. But yeah, there's this thing with Korean dramas that are like the romance dramas where they continuously do the will they, won't they, and they draw it out way longer than it needs to be. And there's always like at least 10 episodes before there's even like a kiss. And then once they start to progress into a relationship, that's when like an ex-girlfriend pops up and wreaks havoc on everything. Happens every single time. And it just like, it drives me up the wall. I get so annoyed. Like, I'm like, can I just have a little cute romance and not have to worry about the ex coming in and like screwing everything up?
Yeah. I guess like on Black, it's kind of like the other girl's already there from the beginning.
Yeah. You know about her and she actually like owns up to her actions. But like in these ones that I watch, that I am watching, they're just being like undermining and passive aggressive and sneaky with what they're doing.
Oh yeah, because you gotta pit women against each other.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I would like it if they just progress the story instead of trying to throw in more drama. I'm like, just give me the meat and potatoes. I don't need this, like, you don't need to put some peas in it. Just, well, technically now you do.
I don't like peas.
Oh, my dad's calling. But I figured out what that show was called that actually had the kissing scene in it that the Korean show did. It's called My Secret Romance. And it's actually like one night stand.
Sorry. It sounds so similar to My Chemical Romance, and I'm having a moment. You can't be
again. We are.
Talk about albums I wore out before.
You remember everybody for like 5 minutes was emo?
Yeah, I never committed to emo. I wore emo pants a few times.
Yeah.
But that's as emo as I was willing to go.
Yeah, I was never emo either. In middle school, elementary school, I was like a hippie. Middle school, I was kind of a goth kid.
Oh. The boxes are falling over.
And then in high school, I wore t-shirts.
I remember in like 10th grade, some of our friends who were hardcore into the emo scene would drag me to their little bowling alley shows where everyone was like, yeah, we're so hardcore, and they were making the ninja punchy dances. Yeah.
I never got invited to those because I wasn't cool enough.
I was not either, but I somehow got invited to them.
Yeah. There were several times that I would actually be with one of those girls, and she would write in her live journal. She would mention every single person that was there except for me.
I think I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah, the same one that smushed your burger.
It's it's the same one that did invite me to all those shows, but not because we were friends. It was because I was an accessory. I was like, GBF.
Isn't that annoying?
Bless me.
It's like, don't treat me like a human. Treat me like a prop. Thanks.
Well, that was most of my high school existence. It was better than being bullied, I guess.
Yeah, I could see that. At least it wasn't mean. You know what I mean?
I think that's probably why
it definitely pigeonholed you. What?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I leaned so heavily into it, was because at least I wasn't being picked on. I was being singled out for things, I guess, but like not in a negative way. It was just like people, they wanted to have the thrill of having a gay friend.
Mm-hmm. That's lame. I think it's lame. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff where like people have come forward and been like talking about how they were the token black friend and hey,
Yeah. Is it Bernie? Romy. Oh, she's so pretty.
She's so pretty, Travis. She's so pretty. She's so pretty. I should move this down so everybody can see her.
She's
Mommy, look at Travis. It's Travis. He's like, no, I don't want to look. I'm getting cuddled.
I don't want to acknowledge anybody else.
He's like, where's mommy and me time? Mommy and me time. Oh, I guess we should podcast again. I'm sitting here recording. She's so pretty. She's so pretty.
Oh.
Do you hear her purr?
I do. It's very loud.
Yeah, she's a loud purr. She's so cute. Have you gotten to cuddle her yet?
No. Well, the closest that has come to is her rubbing against my legs. And then when I reach down to pet her, she runs.
You see, she's starting to go upstairs now. So when you come over and you sleep upstairs, I feel like she would probably lay on you now.
Oh.
Which would be really cool. You get Romy cuddled. Romy is such a good cuddler. It is ridiculous. Like, she's so like soft. And like when she cuddles, she like turns into a bread loaf and just like expands on you. It's cool.
I love when kitties turn into loaves.
Yeah, she's a little bread loaf. Oh, you Romy. This is riveting podcasting. Romy.
I don't know how you edit these things. Just like, it's all gold.
That's pretty much what I do. I'm like, we talked about it? Perfect. I'll probably edit out some things where we talk trash about people.
Yes.
But other than that, I usually keep it in.
I mean,
it's not even talking trash, really. It's more like, this was my experience with you.
I don't understand, like, who is watching, because, like, sometimes we'll be like, this person will never see it, and then
they do.
And then there's beef.
Bernie's here. Hey, honey.
I've just seen a tour of cats over the last, 2 hours.
I just killed one of them.
One of the gnats?
Yeah, it was on my sour cream, and now I've got sour cream all over my hand.
Birdie.
So, what else were we going to talk about in the podcast?
I don't know. We talked about sex stories and K-pop stuff.
What was it? There was one more thing, wasn't there?
fishing.
We talked about all of it then.
Yes.
Can you see me?
I can see Bernie's butt.
Did you hear him? He sassed you. He went,
My butt.
my butt. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have any other podcast stuff.
Great.
We can just sit and shoot the toot and chit chat if you want.
We've wait, we recorded a goodbye. You could just put that on whatever.
We did.
You did it. Goodbye. Bye.
Alla prossima!
Goodbye, pod people.
Annyeong. Thanks for watching the nerdy.
Thanks for watching and listening. We're in different clothes, maybe depending on what episode you're watching, and that's because we talk too long and our internet cuts out.
The internet's like, girl,
You're done.
girl, it's been 4 hours. It's time to go. You got to go, girl.
So thanks for watching. Click our little link below, like, subscribe, watch, check out our other stuff, check out my art, check out Aaron's music. Support us.